everyone. Hope you all are
Good
doing
afternoon.
well. Good afternoon. Thank you all for joining us in this journey of awareness, resilience, and empowerment. Let's make self care our priority beyond pink and beyond today. That's our motive and motto of today. On behalf of Pakistan Business and Professional Council, I want to warmly welcome each one of you to our today's special webinar on account of Pink Day. It's inspiring to see so many professionals, colleagues, and friends coming together to support the theme You Are Worthy Self Care Beyond Pink, the non negotiable. As business professionals, we often find ourselves immersed in work, pushing ourselves to the limit. Yet today, we are here to shift the focus inward to recognize that we are worthy of making self care a priority in our lives. This theme challenges us to go beyond just awareness and actively incorporate self care as an essential part of our daily routines, making it as non negotiable as any business commitment. I would request our esteemed chairman of Pakistan Business and Professional Council to share his thoughts on the importance of Pink Day. We look forward to hear from you. Dr. Kasaranis, please.
Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon to everyone. Um,
Good afternoon.
Welcome to all the participants on this Pink Day and this October month. This October month is always important and give everyone thought for their health and to prevent from the disease of cancer. We say that you are worthy, self-care beyond pink, the non-negotiable. This is the line with the Cancer Awareness Month. And this is the Cancer Awareness Month passing, and it's the last day. This special event is empowering session focused on the essential theme of self-care. Throughout this webinar, we will explore the vital importance of prioritizing the vital importance of our well-being, transcending beyond the pink ribbons of awareness to embrace a holistic approach to self-care. This webinar serves as an essential platform for spreading knowledge, fostering community support, and preventing health measures. Attendees will have the opportunity to hear from our speaker that fosters a sense of community among participation, allowing you all to connect with others and feel more empowered to advocate for our health and the health of our loved one. We should all remember taking time for yourself is not a luxury, it is necessary. Let's embrace this journey together. We have a very important speaker, Madam Kurata Ann. She's mentor, coach, and women empowerment ambassador. And of course, Madam Sabahat, who is the vice president of the program, and our president, Mr. Iqbal Naseem, is on the board, and all our board members. I really personally thank all the board members and a special thank to Madam Sabahat, who initiated this program. And this will be good as an awareness for all the person in the world. When this event will over, so you must get something is how to prevent or control the disease. I will just briefly say why it is, say, awareness program or why they say to protect yourself. You all know, or you may not know, that nearly 10 million people dying every year because of this disease. It's not a small number. 10 million is in our language is 1 crore. It's 1 crore people who lives goes away. And scientists all over the world are working to improve the treatment diagnosis of cancer and bringing to use AI, artificial intelligence, and DNA sequencing and precision oncology every day with a new techniques. The major cancers are breast, lung, and colon cancer. There are many, but these are the most common, and most people die because of this. But there's always a good news. The medical advancement and acceleration and the battle, everyone find, I salute them who's giving time to do the research and to do, and inshallah, one day this disease will be eliminated like we did it with TB and we are doing with polio. So hopefully soon we will prevent this and we save the precious life of everyone. So there are some steps been done. I will take 3 minutes on that. They have a personalized cancer vaccine. This available to prevent that. There are tests to identify early stage of cancers. These are to be followed, in my opinion. Our 7 minutes cancer treatment jab, precision oncology. Another good thing is artificial intelligence, as I said, it finds cancer. Artificial intelligence and machine learning system transform cancer in a very great way. Like we are living in the city, we have all the facility, we can go to the hospital. What about in the villages? What about those areas, rural areas where people do not have this facility? So this AI is helping. This machine technology is working there because the experts are not there to assess their X-rays. So they see their X-ray and identify in advance, maybe 6 years before, 5 years. So it's very easy to control the cancer that moment before it starts growing. I can share my one of the niece now when I'm talking, she's in the hospital in Karachi fighting for cancer. What is the age? 40 years. So operation happened yesterday, 3 hours. She's in a process. Now she will go in radiation. My greatest friend together now in Chicago has developed this and passing through radiation. So this disease is so common that it has to be taken care as much as you can. And this is the purpose of this event. And I will suggest few things from my personal view that person, this world is very busy, very, very busy. And everyone has no time to give for themselves. I only say that you should give half an hour to yourself for taking care of your health. As it's in the awareness thing, I suggest few things is that you should exercise for 30 minutes every day. I know people make plan for hour or 2 hour is not practical. Practical is take 30 minutes out and it's very easy. You either do walking, either you do breathe, learn how to breathe. That's the best way to protect your lungs. If you have a good breathing practice, you are very healthy. I'm just saying, if you have a good breathing practice and you breathe for, say, in 1, 2, 3, 4 step, hold and then release. 1, 2, 3, 4. You do it regularly. And on each occasion, not only one time for a whole day, you start doing it. Make it a practice because the lungs is so important. As I said, everyone has a lung cancer. So that is the most important thing to do that. And this is my suggestion if they do, or I suggest take a yoga course. 20 minutes, 30 minutes. So that will take care of thing. The other part of good news, one good news you have in under global cervical cancer that they just discover uh, a treatment and a big breakthrough for cervical cancer. My mother died on cervical cancer at a very early age and happened in Pakistan. Then I took her to USA, but she didn't survive. It's a very small operation, very, very small operation. She would have survived. It has happened. Now I can see just now when they're saying to prepare a speech, so I'm reading some research paper, and it happened in October 20, this month, that they found the solution for this. So I'm sharing with that. Also, I will suggest that black seed or kalonji, you should use kalonji for every day with honey. Grind the black seed, use every day little. It prevention not only for cancer, for all the diseases. Anyhow, this is some of my suggestions. Lastly, Pakistan Business Professional Council completing 20 years now. And I congratulate all my board members, all my members. And we are celebrating this in Conrad Itahar Tower on 9th of November. I would like to invite them and join with them His Highness Sheikh Nahyan bin Mubarak, who is our chief patron from 20 years. He will be there. And the Ambassador of Pakistan, who is the chairman of the council, also will be there. And it will be great all to attend and see the celebration there. Pakistan Business Council also are from this forum. I invite everyone to join Pakistan Business Professional Council. It's a great platform for business community, for professionals, because this platform you can give back to your country, Pakistan, give back to UAE, give back to the world. Your creativeness, if there, you can put through this platform. We will take up ahead on that, and then you are there. It is big benefit for you. It's a family. You will enjoy it. And with that, I again thank everyone for their attention and listening this, and wish them a very healthy life for this. And I'm sure at the end of this webinar, you will be benefited out of this event. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kesaris. It was, of course, a golden words from you. No doubt, just taking out few minutes for your well-being, it's always preferable. And somehow, if we go through our healthy living, we will be having a better life. In a world where life often gets so busy, self-care can feel like a luxury. But today, we are here to challenge that notion. Together, we will be exploring why self-care is essential, how it goes beyond awareness campaigns, and why each of us deserves to make our own well being a priority no matter what. We have lined up a fantastic speaker, engaging discussion, and some practical tips for taking your self care seriously, whether it's physical health, emotional resilience, or mental peace. This isn't just about raising awareness, it's a movement for a change, a reminder for our value, and an invitation to invest in our own selves. I would like to introduce our speaker, mentor, and a coach of women empowerment, counseling psychologist, and a healing souls through therapies. And Anne is a dedicated to guiding women on their journey towards self-discovery, empowerment, and fulfillment. She brings her expertise in supporting and mentoring women as they navigate to complexities of leadership, personal growth, emotional, and well-being. Her focus lies on integrating evidence based techniques from counseling, psychology, cognitive behavioral therapy, and mindfulness practices. She offers a personalized and results oriented approach tailored to each client's unique needs and aspirations. Being multilingual, she manages to reach a diverse community and is also mentoring coaches to ICF credentials under her Empower Her Coaches Pave the ICV Way. It's a mentoring program and is the founder of Inspiration Station Community, an empowered group of women coaches working towards great projects, offering mentoring, coaching, and training. Welcome, Ms. Kurtulan, and thanks so much for giving us opportunity to be live with you. Over to you, Gurtalen.
Jazakallah khair. Thank you so much, Mr. Bahat. It's really hard to call you Mr. Bahat because she's like family. She's like a bigger sister to me always. But yes, thank you so much for that lovely introduction. It just made me fall in love with myself all over again. So thank you. And thank you, Mr. Kasser, actually, before I start, because for sharing his such personal stories with us and being so vulnerable. I salute you, sir, and thank you. And with that, a very marked thing I would like to mention that Sir just said, losing a loved one, how does that feel? So I would like to acknowledge and pay, my tribute to the men who have joined this session today because usually you don't see men around, so it's a big a big round of applause for you because this shows how concerned you are for the women in your life specifically. And like Sir Kessler also mentioned, we all have one or another story in our lives somewhere connected, and we've been affected in one way or the other. So assalamu alaikum everyone again, and a very good afternoon to one and all, and thank you so much for joining today for this very important awareness session that requires addressing. So, the whole of October, me and my team, I work with the team just like Ms. Sabat now mentioned. The Inspiration Station as a team of coaches. We work together as well, and we do a lot of awareness conversation. We've been doing a lot of these, so. That's why when I think Itail is the name, right? She contacted me, and I was like, it's a last minute thing, but yes, this is something that I love doing, bringing awareness and bringing a lot of learnings through what I have. And like earlier mentioned, it's like giving back to your community. So setting off with the theme of the session today, can I have the second slide? We are going beyond the pink theme, and we are going to explore it deeper into what this is about and what we are going to speak about. Can I have the second slide, please? All right. So the significance of Pink October, before we dive in, for me, self-care, like mentioned in the very start, it's a holistic approach. So it's not always just about, taking care of yourselves, but because of the significance of the ribbons and the awareness, I'll just shed a bit of light on, the main cause that we are gathered here. So, breast cancer, unfortunately, is the second leading cause of death in women worldwide, unfortunately. And let me just, before I move on, share here as well that there are a few men also who do develop breast cancer. This is very rare, but yes, there are stories and there are cases that have been detected. So it's not limited to someone, but yes, 1 in 8 women is likely to get affected. That how I think crucial it is to understand it more and be aware. Um, Although the good news is that since 1989, there has been a prominent decline in the cases. And so there's been a 42% of decline in, of the death rate. And this is very much, I feel, due to a lot of sorts of such conversations, campaigns that are being run, that women realize the importance of being aware, of being present for themselves. And hence, yes, congratulations, we do have a decline. And like Sir Kesser already mentioned before I started as well, and he made my work so much easier today because he mentioned such a nice things about the breast cancer awareness that have been going on. One of them is the vaccine. So yes, and I always say we are a blessed generation to be existing in a time where there is solution to a lot of life problems which our ancestors or people before us were not really aware of, right? So that is one of the, I think, one of the amazing things, and alhamdulillah, we are very thankful for that. Um, why did I go beyond the ribbons and beyond the pink today? A 1971 study has found that researchers could see cancer onset in women who were identifying and showing traits of hopelessness, depression, and helplessness. Now, this is a game changer because our emotional states greatly affect our immune systems. And we all know we all carry cancer cells. So once our immune system starts getting compromised, that is where the cancer cells metastasize and they become, they become fatal. They form into that disease. So, as a lot of us here, in all these awareness conversations, campaigns everywhere, and the whole of October has, and I'm so glad we're still doing it and the last day of October as well, because this is something that should be vocalized throughout the year, perhaps as well. So, as we know that early detection is something that that we understand it saves lives, and I look into this. I want to develop this into an awareness that it goes beyond that physical aspect. So, being a mental health professional, also, I feel that this is my first and foremost duty to take everyone beyond that self care only, because early detection, yes, does matter. And when you prioritize, you become self aware. It is what brings you to that awareness of having yourself as a priority and getting yourself checked and everything. But there's something more than this. There are people who are the warriors, as I call them, who are the survivors. There's a journey that they follow. There is a mindset that they shift into once they come out of that. That is where the role of mental health professionals like us comes in very active as well. But I want to bring this both these concepts together, that post, like, God forbid, astaghfirullah, if you are someone who is diagnosed or is not, right? So post that, and someone who's survived, so perhaps someone you can support these people in that context and all that. In both the cases, it is the same thing. It all goes down to your self-awareness. And how do you develop that self-awareness? Your self-awareness comes out of that understanding of your self-worth. There are so many people, and specifically women in specific, I would stress again, because the right side of a woman's brain is more active, and then she realizes the threats more than a man's brain. Men are more analytical, and that, so it's a gender, I mean, it's from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it's been created like that. So we realize the threat earlier, and that's why we tend to fall more into depressions and mental health diseases compared to our male counterparts. So here, a lot of women fall into the prey of thinking, I am not worthy. And specifically, if they are cancer survivors, a lot of them, because they go through certain surgeries, the chemo process is very painful. It's very challenging, and it's very unimaginable actually for people like us to perhaps just sit and comment about it. But yes, all our hearts go out to those who are fighting right now, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give them all the shifa while we speak as well. So a lot of women fall prey to I am not worthy, and specifically post or pre as well. So the onset happens when there's a lot of I am not worthy, because like I just explained, a study done in 1971 where they understood that a lot of a sense of helplessness puts you in that zone where you pity yourself, and then you understand you're not worth anything, and then you just put yourself at the back burner, you just throw yourself there. So that's where a lot of issues start arising in you, and they manifest in physical forms as well, because we are what we think, we are what we eat, we are a holistic being. We are being created like that. We do not have a single system running separately, so whatever is happening in your mind is affecting your body at the same time, and it is a holistic approach. That's why whoever comes to us, we speak a lot about physical well-being plus the mental being. It's always a holistic approach. Now, let me ask the participants who are listening right now, one word, what makes you feel worthy? And you can just post in the chat. What makes you feel worthy? It could be anything. What makes me feel worthy are my capabilities, my my capability to connect with people, my smile. I love that. I love that. Yes, I love your smile. Can we have some more comments, please? Let's just bring it on. What makes you feel worthy? because every day you get up with a reason in your head, and when you step out of that house, you know and you're going out for something, right? So perhaps that is your purpose. So for so many people, their work is what makes them feel worthy, right? um, I can share that when I connect with people, and when somebody thanks me out of a sad smile and says they saw the light, that is my worth. That is what defines my worth for me. So yeah, let's just reflect a bit on the fact that what makes us worthy. And while everybody's chatting, while everybody's posting and taking time to reflect on this, I'm gonna just move into the next bit of what I wanted to say. Um, so, and you could actually think of, one word or phrase also that represents you. So, like Mr. Bahachi's mentioned, smile. So you can just, represent yourself with anything at all for that matter. Can I have the next slide, please? All right. So, yes, here we speak about what a self-care means beyond the surface. So, definitely my favorite kind of self-care is also spa day, having a nice mani-pedi and everything. That never goes outdated. But today we're marking that there is something way beyond that, which is much more important. So that is one aspect of it where you want to stay, good for yourself. And again, a very important aspect, to with all respect to all the male members attending here, but a lot of people think that women dress up and get ready for men. But no, sorry, we dress up for ourselves, for our own happiness and well-being. So yes, that should be your ultimate trademark, that your self-awareness should be so high that you should be doing everything for your own self before anyone else's satisfaction. And trust me, that is not selfish, it is self-care. All right. So thank you so much, Mr. Kamran. Would you like to actually share what makes you feel worthy? As long as you're listening to us intently. Thank you. All right. So redefining self-care and going beyond the surface. Now, as I spoke, that beyond the surface, an important aspect of it is the holistic lifestyle. So what we eat, right? And like Sarkis has already mentioned, like I said, he made my work so much more easier, that, taking that physical activity on a daily basis, keeping up, your mental state in touch. So now what do we mean when I say your mental state in touch? Life is very busy. It is super busy for all of us. It's like a rat race. I love calling it that because it is like that since now for some time. It's all become that digital age. We're all so busy, and I think that is where so many people are falling prey to burnout, stress, anxiety, depression, right? A high functioning depression is something that has surfaced a lot lately after COVID in specific, because people have become so into digital world that they hardly take out time. The simplest thing that you can do in the form of self-care is just go out for a walk. Just a 10 minutes walk, it increases the size of your hippocampus, which is your thinking part of your brain. So just imagine that a simple walk, like, it does not cost you anything, right? It does not cost you anything at all. Imagine. So you just step out and just move yourself and start with just a simple thing as like a 10 to 15 minutes, and it can have profound impacts on your mental well-being. And I always, when people come to me, and before that, another important thing. So when you do a lot of physical activity, and I'm someone actually who has been highly insomniac all my life. I was someone who always had trouble sleeping. But since the last, I think, almost 7 to 6 years, when I have started a regular workout routine, which includes mostly walk. So I do manage to go to the gym, but walk I love. And since then, sleeping has become just like so easy for me. So sleep hygiene is also super important when we talk about our well-being and our self-care. And like I said, life is very busy. We are all so occupied with the things. Even we fall asleep thinking about what the work is going to look like tomorrow. That's the extent of pressure we put on ourselves. Although, like we say that you should not be eating 2 to 3 hours before your bedtime, is the same way. 2 to 3 hours before your bedtime, you should be just closing all of your work and just putting it aside, because there's another day, another morning that you can take good care of that. So you have to start prioritizing yourself in that way, where you need to understand that your mental rest is so important. Sir Kessler very rightly marked about the meditative or the breath work there. I think after walk, if something is super, super, super effective and it's very beneficial for everyone, it is a brief work that you can do, and basically you don't need anything at all. You don't need some fancy yoga mats. You don't need some fancy clips to sit and listen to. All you have to do is just sit and just breathe and just be aware of your breath. And 5 to 10 minutes on a daily basis is more than enough for a game changer to start happening. And breathing also changes your brain patterns as well. So it affects the mental well being in so many ways. Can I have the next slide, please? All right. Did someone else put anything about their worth, about how they see themselves? Or if I guess everybody's just very tired today.
Seems a busy day for everyone.
Seems a busy day. Yes, Thursdays are usually very busy. Thursdays are busy on the roads as well. In Dubai, it's crazy traffic on Thursday. So yes, I can second that. No worries. You can always take time to reflect at a later point, whenever if my voice has left an impression and you think at a later point that she was speaking about the word, so what is that in my, and it's a very good practice actually. And while I speak of a good sleep, this is actually a very good practice to reflect on such powerful questions before you fall asleep, because it gives you a sense of meaning. It gives you a sense of purpose, and we'll come back to this at a later point. So speaking of self-worth, and like I was saying, there are people who are the survivors, the warriors, and there are other people as well who fall prey to the disease very quickly because of their low self-esteem and low self-worth sense, right? So how do you encourage this self-worth, and how do you form that? So this is actually, and I think this is a very helpful thing for parents with teenagers. I have two teens who are stepping into teens, so I am very aware of this thing, that there's a lot of challenge in their developing brains that start happening, and they question their self-worth a lot. So this is actually a small exercise which you can actually use with your teen kids, with yourself, with anyone you see who's struggling a bit on the part that they feel lack of confidence, or they feel that they're not good enough. And you hear a lot of people, they'll say this to you, that I'm not good enough, I cannot do this. So one of the things that we suggest, and it's very super empowering, is reprogramming your subconscious. Now, how do you do that? It's a very deep topic and it's a very huge one, but I wanted to put that in my slide because this is super important when we speak about developing that self-worth. A very quick brief of this is that, and I was speaking to someone yesterday about this, the words we speak have power. They are getting ingrained. That is why they say parenting is the most important stage in development of a child, because whatever you're seeing, the words are getting registered inside the subconscious of that child. If it's not changed, they grow up with those words ringing in their ears, literally. I sometimes feel that alhamdulillah for being brought up by great parents, but this is what I feel. Sometimes I hear my mom in my ears, just like anything, like if I'm speaking to my kids and I hear them, isn't it? We all do hear our parents somewhere in our ears, right? It's the same thing. It's because everything is ingrained in our subconscious, the thoughts, the words that we have been labeled with. That's why they say always speak positive words. And in Islam also, we're always taught to speak good, expect good as well. This is one of the reasons, because whatever you're speaking becomes your reality, in short. Hence, now affirmations, how do they work? So affirmations basically are positive sentences, they empowering sentences, like so for example, somebody who so these are customized, and of course as per the somebody's requirement, they can change it for themselves. So for example, if I'm someone who's fighting with the lack of confidence, I will write for myself, I am confident, I can do this, right? And I stand in front of the mirror, even if you don't stand in front of the mirror, but yes, standing in front of the mirror, looking yourself in the eye and saying these is super powerful. It's super impactful. Neuroscience has proved, all researchers supporting this. So it is very impactful. What happens is that usually when you just repeat these things, the best parts of repeating these are either right after you wake up in the morning or right when you're sleeping. Because when you're sleeping, they get registered and you sleep on them. So the whole of the, yes, I love that. I'm unstoppable. Yes. So this is something super cool actually. When you start telling yourself that, it starts becoming your reality. And then you start, understanding, then in your brain starts to believe that. It's almost magical. So many people feel that it's a bizarre thing, but yes, there are studies that have proven this. Neuroscience proves this. This is physics. This is neuroscience. This is energy. This is, I say, a lot of religion also supports this. So yes, like they say always, when you make dua, you make sure you're saying out the positive affirmations, and you're using positive words, and always say the nice things. What do these affirmations do? They shift your mindset as well. So specifically for people who are facing a very negative mindset, these can work wonders, because when you start telling yourself something positive every day, it just changes your chemistry overall as well. So this is again a very important and a very super important thing. I want everyone, if please, you want to list three things that you love about yourself. Three things that just come to your mind, right? If I ask you, what do you love about yourself? I'm gonna give you a minute to just go ahead and write that out.
Okay, I give you the three things.
Yes, sir, please.
Now, one is the best thing when I meet people, so that brings a lot of happiness from all the caste and creed, different nationalities. We are very lucky that we live in UAE with 200 nationalities, and really I enjoy that.
Indeed.
That is a super thing. Number two, we enjoy here, especially the weather, we have all the weathers. Everyone say it warm and we have no winter, but it suits to us, because when we go to USA, I cannot tolerate the snow over there. So I like the weather. And the third thing, I like my family members very much and friends. And I will always like to meet them and enjoy together and exchange things, help them, they help us. These are the three things which bring the lives more happier.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. I do second that we just are blessed with the changing weather here, and being someone who's born and raised here, I just completely second you on that. So thank you so much for sharing that. Anyone else who would like to share, or alternatively, what you can do is that, just like Miss Sabahat, she shared in the chat a personal affirmation for herself, which is empowering. So not necessarily your, yeah, you could be fighting something, or you should be sharing whatever it is that you want to change, right? It can just be something that, so it can be even something like, if there is a presentation coming for you next week, right? And if you want to, you're a little bit anxious about that, and you want to create something around that, so that will be a good idea as well. If you can, just create an affirmation for yourself and just wants to have a look. Can I have the next slide, please? Okay, I think we missed one. Yes, prioritizing mental health are non-negotiable. So yes, this is what the main theme of today's my discussion was, that self, there is a non-negotiable. So for me, always it is mental health. So many of us struggle with a lot of things. So in our community, in our society, basically, there's a lot of, I think, um, predispositions, preset biases, where we are conditioned to believe that if we step out of that, it's going to be, a disaster, or you can't. So what happens is that because internally we don't agree with that, but because of the biases, we confirm, and that is what makes us, fall prey to a lot of mental health problems as well. So your mental health is foundation to your overall well-being. When you practice a lot of these non-negotiable skills, which is mindfulness, meditation, and journaling. Okay, so one of the things that I think myself I have loved doing always and forever is journaling. So I think it was in 1998 when for the first time I won a Junior News diary, which came with Junior News. If you remember, Junior News was all over, right? So I won a diary as a present, and it that was my first motivation. Actually, I was in grade 8, I guess. So that was my first motivation to write out my daily thing, and I think I never stopped after that. It's been always in and out, and trust me, it's one of the most amazing and game changing things. So while training, so there was a while I stopped with, like, you have kids and you all get all that busy mommy stuff, and then you don't have time for all these nitty gritties. So there was a time I did stop, but then yes, while training, I came back to journaling, and there was so much of reflection I felt I went through after the journaling. So I know it feels, to some people it feels like, oh my god, who's going to go sit and write? So there are so many people who are not pen and paper people, who are very digitalized. For them, we have digital journals as well. You can, just type inside your laptop and just save the files and, upload that. But I'm a paper pen person. I love having lovely diaries and keeping them. And I'm still that old school girl. I love keeping those, journals and diaries. And it is amazing experience when you start journaling. And when we start coaching someone on emotional intelligence concepts, we give them certain questions as well, so they become super effective in terms of how you maintain that emotional regulation inside you. So but yeah, even if you're not following with a coach or with a mental health professional, you can just reflecting on your day on a daily basis can be a game changer. So do give it a try. If you don't do that, it is a non-negotiable, honestly, for someone like me, seeking professional help when needed. Now, this is a taboo that is still, with all these awarenesses, all these conversations going on, we still have a taboo around mental health help, that people, find that going to a mental health professional is a challenge. That is why I think a lot of people, they just decide not to open up, and they just keep bottled up everything. But it's very important to understand there are some aspects of life where we do not want friends to know, where we do not feel like sharing it with a family member as well. And definitely all of us have those, segments of parts of life where we are unable to share. That is where you need to understand that trusting a mental health professional is very important. And sometimes, unfortunately, in some cases, like people who have gone through a traumatizing event or an adversity, or for example a cancer survivor, and they are people who cannot get up back themselves, so they need someone to support them. And that's why it's very important for us to understand as individuals as well, that there are signs which you need to recognize in those you love as well, that when do you need to get them professional help. And I always say that before that, before anyways getting into professional help, be a listener for them. Be a listener. 90% of people I see in therapy and coaching, after the first session, they're like, "Oh my God, I feel so great." And I tell them, I say, "I did not do any magic here. I just listened to you." We are all about listening. The problem is where we were saying right before this conversation, the very start, that it's a chaotic lifestyle we're all living. We don't have time. We listen to respond. We don't listen to listen. That is an unfortunate thing. So develop a habit of listening, and you can solve so many problems of and by problem solving, I don't mean you need to actually get in and you need to be an engineer to solve anyone's problem. No, it's not that. It's just that by listening, being someone like Sarkis said, thank you again so much for that vulnerable stories of sharing his family stories with us. That was super powerful, actually. Vulnerability, I say, is a skill that none all can achieve. But then again, you need on the listening and also someone who is actually understanding where you're coming from. If you're giving a vibe to the other person that it's not you, or it's just like a whatever sort of an expression, then of course, unfortunately, next time this person is not going to open up to you and all that. So this is another very important aspect of self-care that I feel is very much needed and to be kept at all times. I think the slide went back to the first one. Yeah. Okay. Yes, here. Now the next one is fine. All right. Now, how do you prioritize these self-care strategies and tailor them to your needs? Now, of course, everything in life is, nothing is one size fits all, as we all know that. It's always, that we will be having everything, because every person is unique in their own creation, right? You're one in a billion, remember? So everyone is unique, and hence everyone's priorities, everyone's skill sets, everyone's capabilities, they're all different. That's why your self-care priority will be very different than mine, right? If I tell you journaling is very important, it's not necessary it's going to click with Miss Sabahat. Maybe for her it's not important. Maybe for her something else is super important. I say for me, she says for her physical walk is super important. That keeps her mentally very stable and out of that anxious cycles. For me, for example, maybe that does not really work. Maybe I have some mental health, physical health problems, sorry, that keep me from doing that. So everybody has a different set of their own, and you can always tailor them. But the most important things to understand is that set realistic goals. Now, what we usually do is that, and this is one of the conversations I was having with a client just the other day. So she's like, I got gym shoes and I got a gym bag and I'm like this and I bought a gym membership. And yeah, here am I, 6 months into that and I'm still not entering the gym. And I was like, I like that, but yeah, who told you to set so big goals that if you're not someone who's not at all started working out or even being physically active, and you just want to right away jump into a gym routine. So the thing to understand here is that set realistic goals for yourself. Some set achievable goals. That is why I said the simplest thing: take a walk, a 10 minutes walk. Start with it. We can all spare 10 minutes for ourselves. That is, so this will be very unrealistic if somebody tells me I cannot take a walk for 10 minutes, right? God forbid if there is a medical issue, yes. But again, I know personally so many, old age people who make sure that they are, even if the speed does not matter at the end of the day, it's the action, right? So no matter how much you're doing, but yes, start. The major thing is to just be present and to appear every day. Now this is one of the things that you set up realistic goals, whatever works for you. So you do an ecology check. What does my environment support? What does my routine support? How does that look like for me? So that is how you set up a realistic goal. Now then after this comes your priorities. Like mentioned earlier, and all of us, specifically females, we have a certain set of duties. We are playing certain set of roles in our daily life: a mom, a daughter-in-law, a daughter, a sister. So you have to set up your priorities. You have to tune up where it's going to work for you, where it really applies. So this is again, as said, it's very personal. It's something that you can only do it, and nobody else can change that or alter that for you. After that comes the embracing activities you enjoy. So now here comes the best part of it, because you need to be putting things in your self-care plan that you love doing. Now, if I say that I'm someone who does not love going to the gym, right? So it's perfectly fine. But if I force myself to go to the gym because XYZ is going, then it's not going to work, honestly, because you will always end up leaving that in one way or the other. You can always tune up, you can always develop habits. That's a whole lot of another discussion we can have, right? How do you develop habits? I can speak a whole session on that as well. But the thing is that when you're starting out, when you're setting up that ecology for yourself, when you're developing a self-care routine, when you're struggling to get into one, that is not where you set things that you're not used to. You set up things that you're used to, you like them, even if you haven't done them, but yeah, you have a past history of having done them. So things that, come in, so it could be even painting, like for example, for a person like me, painting is very meditative. I have an immersive brain when I'm painting. I feel like I literally meditate because I literally disconnect from the world outside. So that can be something that I enjoy doing. It can be a self-care thing for me because it is meditative at the end of the day. For some people, for of course, for most of us, so reading Quran is actually meditative as well. So probably you can take 10 minutes away for that as well and just read it with whole concentration, and that has a lot of impact on our mental health, of course, as well, as we all know that. So different activities, whatever works for you, so just curate them. And this is the homework for today, and I'm someone who loves giving homeworks. So this is something that you have to do today. You have to set up, prioritize perhaps three things that you love doing and are meditative in nature for them. If someone would like to post that in the chat, more than welcome, so that everybody can get inspired from you and love what you're doing. And yeah, I just gave you a lot of some ideas out here that what you can do. And yeah, perhaps just set this up today, write up in your journal that this is something I love doing and this is something that works wonders for me in terms of self-care. So yeah, that is one thing of doing it. And I'll be waiting for the personalized plans. Can I have the next slide, please? Okay. Now, apart from that, fostering a supportive community is super important. Now, this again comes to the fact that it's very important in case of people who have fought the disease. It's very important in case of people who are fighting the disease. It's very important for anyone who's not been affected at all, but has someone close to them who could have been affected. So the disease or not the disease, a supportive environment is always something super important. Studies show that even plants, if you speak to them positive words, they grow really well. Studies have actually proven that. So imagine what a supporting environment can do to a human brain, because we, like I mentioned earlier, we are getting everything ingrained in our subconscious. So imagine if we have people around you that are a supportive community, and I'm sure Pakistan Business Council is one supportive community. As I was hearing Sarkessa speak about it, I was getting inspired on how supportive I think it is for its members. And of course, I am someone who has grown up in Pakistan Embassy in Sheikh Khalifa School. So I know how supportive our community is. And again, it's an honor for me to be speaking from this forum today. So a supportive community is super empowering. It's super powerful. And it's a great way to maintain your mental health as well. Because these platforms, they give you an opportunity to speak up, to just, and specifically, I feel the need of these platforms and communities within an environment like in UAE, for example, because there's diverse circles. So Alhamdulillah for being here and such a lovely, diverse nature of people that we connect with. But there's a certain beauty when you connect with people who come from, from your own backgrounds and everything. So definitely supportive environments, they mean, and supportive environment does not only mean, people of the same color, race, or culture. It has a wider vision beyond that. So supportive communities can be anyone with the, a same mindset. So it goes far beyond just the race, color, and everything. It is much more beyond that. It can be even just any stranger who just, has time to listen to you. But yes, it makes a lot of difference. And definitely networking and being in supporting environments is always super helpful for maintaining a great mental well-being. We already spoke about getting guidance from mental health. Open communication is key to building a strong support system. Now, support system is very important in that case as well, because you feel safe psychologically with these people. So you tend to, do an open communication you just don't tend to bottle up your emotions or your thoughts. And that is what nurtures a lot of self-care. And in when your self-care is nurtured, and when it is taken care of well, this definitely increases your self-awareness and your self-worth in turn. So they're all like an interconnected concept, and it all just comes together. Next slide, please. All right, so we spoke about the supporting community and all, and I was just thinking also that, if you want to perhaps create a list of non-negotiables for yourself as a takeaway from this session today as well. So that will be a great idea. We discussed that the non-negotiables can be tailored as well. It can be different for different people. So just go inside today, inside yourself, inside your head. And when you're asking yourself, what makes you feel worthy, you can also put up what is a non-negotiable for you. So, for example, for someone, the morning walk, like for me, morning walk is a non-negotiable. So yeah, a good breakfast in the morning is a non-negotiable for me. I'm somebody who literally eats like a king in the morning, and I live by this rule that my morning does not start till I have a good breakfast. And the day I don't have a good breakfast, my mood is spoiled for the whole day. So it is a non-negotiable for me. So you have to decide what is a non-negotiable for you, because I'll tell you the importance of that. When you, on a daily basis, make sure that the non-negotiable is being addressed, it has a profound effect on your overall mental well-being. You feel relaxed, you feel that calmness, you feel that that internal peace. It will just come along. It will just come along. I know it sounds so bizarre, like how can having a breakfast make you feel peaceful? But it does, because it's important for me. So that's why you have to point out what is that's important for you, what is that's non-negotiable for you, what is that makes you feel you. That is super important. Like Sarkasa, you mentioned that connecting with people and getting to know these people, this is what makes him feel that worthiness and feel that he loves this about himself. And so it's the same thing. When you understand what keeps you going, what keeps you alive, what keeps you feeling worthy, it really has profound impacts on your overall well-being. At the end, I would just like to wrap up. I think we're just done with the time as well, that embracing your worthiness every day. And this is where I speak again of understanding the non-negotiables that we speak of, understanding what we love about ourselves, what makes us feel worthy. These are some of the important things that when you start addressing them, you will embrace your worthiness, right? And you will understand that self-care is not a luxury, it's a necessity for a fulfilling life. And a fulfilling life is very important to lead, because we have only one life, and it's a gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which should be really, really not taken for granted. Unfortunately, I say that in so many of my awareness conversations, is that I am someone also like that. So I don't wake up and I say alhamdulillah for the for the air in my lungs, alhamdulillah for the eyes that I can see, right? But God forbid, there was a time in my life where I just had a small wound on my foot, and there was a period of 3 months. So the wound got very bad, and it got bad to an extent where the doctor had told me that if it gets very bad, it could lead to a lot of worse things. So I had to be so careful. I had to be careful while bathing, while wudu, and it was a torturous 3 months for me, where I had to, and the consequences that were shown by the doctor. With that small wound, I realized the importance of my physical well-being. And I realized that, even a small wound on my foot can be so torturous, but I overlooked the importance of, even the health. So again, grateful. I think gratitude is the point that where we all start from. Gratitude for the things you have in life. And so here's the game changer point of the whole conversation. Gratitude also changes your brain. So if you're thankful for the blessings that you have, and if you're thankful on an everyday basis, and there are studies by Dr. Joe Dispenza on that your whole brain chemistry changes if you regularly get into a state of gratitude. So imagine that These are things which are free. These are things that are very readily available and very readily approachable for all of us. And that's about it from me today, because this is what self-care means to me beyond the non-negotiables and beyond the pink ribbons. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you so very much, Kurutul, and for your
Uh,
insightful words and for a meaningful discussion today. Your perspective on self care and wellness truly resonates with our own theme, and we are very grateful for your precious time. Like you very wisely said, we should all reflect, taking out time for our own selves by walking, by having, it's really important we have our own self confidence. We feel it that this is our own self who have to work on our own well being, and particularly walking for 10 minutes. And I, like I say, my smile is the beautiful, not only because it's beautiful really, but I believe this is the only curve we are having it, which makes each and every aspect of your life more straight. And sometimes you do have to, keep yourself more composed, keep yourself more prompt at times. So this smile is like, a warrior for me, is which I use always to tame my people, tame my colleagues, tame my seniors. So this is the only weapon I use it. I would like to
I
request our
will,
president.
Sabad, I will take just 1 minute.
Sure, sir.
Smile is everything. That's what
Yes.
should be there always on the face, irrespective of all your pressure. So that's the one thing. But one point which Madam Krutar Alain, I appreciate for all its presentation, is extraordinary, good guidance for everyone. Morning breakfast. I love that her statement to have morning breakfast, and that what provide energy to the brain. When you get up in the morning, you have your breakfast, that is the energy, and that's why you work good all the time. Whether you don't take lunch or whether you don't take dinner, but the morning breakfast should be good and well nourished. But I'm seeing a lot of people doing intermittent gap. They don't take breakfast in the morning, they just rush it because they're a very busy person. But health is behind. No problem, health. I'm still walking. Will matter. They will not eat one thing. They will not touch anything. And then they will eat whatever time when their intermittent will finish. That is now the lifestyle. And that is where, at the young age, they can manage. But that give impact at the old age because then the structure is gone already, it's consumed, which you have not used the energy of the brain. This is my liner. For those who are doing independent, not taking morning breakfast, they can take morning breakfast, but they can give a gap of 12 hours that you can do also. That's my comment on your breakfast.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. It was a really golden words for everybody that breakfast is really important part of our lives. I would like to request our president, Mr. Naseem Iqbal, to share his thoughts on our theme, please. Sir Naseem Iqbal, please.
Yeah, thank you very much, Sabahat, and thank you very much again for discovering Puratulan, in fact. And definitely, she'll be part of our programs in future. Also, she has a very good knowledge in speaking, and the subject what she is choosing, it's a variety is there, and the way she talks about each and everything she covers, which makes your life beautiful as well as practical. What she said about the self assessment and self diagnosis, in fact, and if you can get it soon diagnosis, then you can get 100% cure also in this one. So it is not a a very bad one, but the important thing is this, that you have to diagnose soon as possible. So self assessment is the core thing. Secondly, she touched everything, in fact, which makes you happy, which makes you healthier, and very small little things make you very happy. It's not that you have to do wow very big, spend money and then go somewhere and to buy the happiness. No, it is just very small things, very little things, in fact. Today, in my today's meeting, I had gone to one of the office, and I saw it was a lunchtime. I saw one boy. He was just taking a quick bite. I said, yeah, I stopped him. I said, okay, tell me, for what we are earning? We are earning to have a nice meal first. So at least, sit down somewhere. Even you take a quick bite, but sit down and eat with the small bites. Enjoy your bite. It will take, maybe quick bite will finish in 2 minutes. This, will enjoy having your meal. It will take 5 to 7 minutes only, but you enjoy it. So it's our duty to tell the young generation, even in my house, big bites, and one gulab jamun at one time, swallow, finished. Baba, gulab jamun, small bites. Enjoy every bite. So, as Dr. Kaisar also said, that morning breakfast, and I know him since long time. Without breakfast, I also not leave the house. I told my wife that, okay, if you give me breakfast, then I will go out. Otherwise, I'm sitting in the house. Then. So, which is very important. Yes, if you have a nice breakfast, and especially with your loved ones at home, it's a blessing actually. So once again, thank you very much from the Pakistan Business and Professional Council, Abu Dhabi. Our Vice Chairman, Dr. Saeed Kaisar, and his Kamran Atif is there. Our VP for the communication and all these things. And Sabahat, thank you very much. You are really bring the energy, and Kamran, you also bring the energy, and hopefully that we will soon have one webinar on a different subject. And Purtulan, you will be part of the PVPC now group. Sabat, hold her, catch her. Okay. Thank you very much on behalf of Pakistan Business Professional Council, all from the board and from the management and from the chairman, vice chairman. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
God bless
Thank you,
you.
sir. It's an honor for me.
Thank
Thank you.
you
Thank
very
you for the
much,
recognition and
everyone.
appreciation.
Thank you. A heartfelt thank you to our respected chairman, president of Pakistan Business and Professional Council for their vision and leadership in organizing this meaningful Pink Day event. Your commitment to fostering well-being and empowerment within our community is truly inspiring. To our coach and mentor, Anne, who has created ripple effect for our well-being, and especially to our great audience, thank you for your participation and enthusiasm. It's your engagement that makes events like these impactful. Once again, stay healthy, stay safe, and love your own self, because without you, the world will still move on. So take care of yourself. For those who haven't yet joined PVPC, we warmly invite you to become members of our vibrant community. Membership offers a unique opportunity to connect with fellow professionals, access valuable resources, and be part of initiatives that drive personal and professional growth. Thank you once again for being with us today, and we look forward to building a stronger future together. Once again, all the very best to everyone, and stay safe and
Thank you, Sabat. Thank you, Purtulan. Thank you,
Thank
President.
you.
And
Jazakallah.
thank
thank
you,
you,
Thank you.
our
everyone.
board
Allah
Thank
member
you
Hafiz.
very
and the
much.
participants.
Thank you very much, Kuratulan. It was an honor to have you on board.
Thank you. We'll meet in
Bye
person.
bye.
Thank you.